everyone, and welcome back to CraftyGirlzSA. I am Kerry, and in this tray that I'm doing today, I just kept adding things. It was one of those projects. I had some glitter and charms, feathers and some jewels, and so of course they naturally all went in. And I wasn't planning to go this much, but here we are. And sometimes the best resin pieces do happen when you just stop overthinking and you just decorate. So let's see how it turned out. I used my rectangular tray. It's quite a large tray. I think it's about 24 centimeters. And then some black and silver rhinestones, some glitter, some little black and clear. They're stones, but they're actually beads. And then I did some jewels with epoxy resin and mica. And there was a couple of plastic hearts that I used. Some little butterfly charms. And then I also had a blue feather, which I wanted to add with my epoxy resin. So first of all, what I wanted to do was to put some of the rhinestones into a container with some of the glitter, and also add a couple of the little stone beads, and then add some resin to that so that it does help with air bubbles. But like I normally say, I'm not too worried if there's a couple of air bubbles in the trays. As long as your edges don't have bubbles, I don't mind a few air bubbles inside the actual rim of the tray and that sort of thing. So I did put my resin through the vacuum chamber, so it was nice and clear, but obviously mixing it with the rhinestones and that, it would have put some bubbles in there, but that was just to be expected. So now I wanted to fill up the rim of the tray with the rhinestones, and if you can hear that humming noise in the background, it is actually the dehumidifier that is running, because being in the Durban area in South Africa, it is really humid at the moment. So even with the aircon on dry, I run the dehumidifier just to be on the safe side. So just mixing up my rhinestones and glitter, and then I realized I needed to put a little bit of clear in the bottom of the tray, which I normally do. That also does eliminate some of the air bubbles. So before I did that, I just pushed those little bits down that I'd already put in. I didn't want to try and take them out. It would just be a bit of a mission. So I needed to just pour in a little bit into the rim of the tray. I actually did turn off my dehumidifier because I thought it might have been quite distracting. So I did switch it off and just putting a thin layer of the clear into the rim. This is my crystal epoxy resin. It's such a nice epoxy resin. I know that I mention that every time I do a video with it, which is all the time now. It's the only resin that I actually use, other than I have a 4-hour cure from Temu that I got, but I only use the crystal resin at the moment because it is really such a nice resin. So again, here now I am just going to go around and put the rhinestones and the glitter and that into the rim. I did get my turntable because I just find it's a lot easier using the turntable. You don't have to keep moving the actual mold around. It's easier just to use the turntable and it does make life a lot easier. It has seen better days from my baking days. It's not a tall turntable. It's quite a short one. It's more of a lazy Susan than it is a turntable, but it's nice if you want to be closer to your counter when you're using it. So here I was just making sure that they were all in the rim. I was happy that there were some glitter bits that were going to float onto the actual base of the tray. I was happy with that, but I didn't want too many rhinestones to be on the base of the tray. So here I was just filling up the base with the clear because I wanted to start adding. And like I did say in the beginning, I wasn't going to put as much stuff in, but then once I started looking at what could go into the tray, I did get a bit carried away with all the things that I decided to use, but hashtag Claire made me do it. It's a chuck it all in sort of type of tray today. So these are the little plastic hearts. Obviously they need to be face down because we are going to see the bottom of the tray once we unmold it, so everything has to be in reverse, so it'll be face down. So I just put one in each corner of the plastic hearts. Those were blue. I didn't put much other blue than the feather and those two hearts. The rest of it I wanted to keep more on the purplish side. So the jewels that I made, they are the color changing purple. So it depends which way you're looking at them to you actually get more of a purple look than any other color. But here my feather was a little bit banana shaped. It wasn't straight, so, or flat should I say. So I was hoping that it was not going to stick out the top before I did the back coat. So I just kept adding a little bit of resin just to make sure that it was going to lay flat enough that I would be able to get a back coat on it after this had cured. But I didn't want to fiddle too much with it because I didn't want to break the I don't know what they're called, spines or I'm not sure. Maybe someone can tell me what they're called. So I had to be really gentle. And then these little feathers are actually from my mother's Indian ringneck. I know they're green, but I just thought I'll add them. If they show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. But I just thought that would be quite sweet. That's our little wimpy. I actually hand reared him 20 odd years ago. So he's an old man now, but he's still beautiful. So I thought I would add some of his feathers too. And then the little butterfly charms. I thought those would go nicely too because the butterfly in the sticker that I'm going to be putting on is really gorgeous. So the butterflies were in the theme as well, and the jewels are also in the theme of the UV DTF sticker that I'm going to be using. So I just dotted these around. These I actually did, like I said, with the color changing marker, and then I filled them with black. So that is why they are black at the back, but they have that beautiful color on the front of them. And then I topped it up with the rest of the clear resin, and it was ready to cure overnight and ready for its back coat. So the back coat, I didn't want white, but I wanted a really, really, really subtle lilac, because when you see the UV DTF sticker, you will see that it has the lilac in it, but I didn't want the lilac to take over the actual inside of the tray. I just wanted it just slightly lilac and not white. So I had mixed what I thought would be enough for the back coat, but I clearly didn't measure very well and I did not have enough. So I scraped and scraped and hoped by some miracle that it would fill the tray, but it didn't. So I ended up having to mix a little bit more. I think it only took about another 30 or 40 mils, or grams I should say. I don't work in mils, I work in grams. And so this color was slightly darker, so I used my heat gun just to mix it in. And then I left that again overnight, but I was a little bit worried because you can actually see the bottom of the feather. It isn't higher, but you can see it. It's not higher, but it's quite thin there. But it is what it is, and I was ready to unmold it. I was really excited to see what it actually looked like out of the mold. And there it is. Well, I think it looks gorgeous. The jewels as well, they're actually beautifully purple where it's touching the actual tray, and then you can actually see some of the black when it's at a specific angle. So I really think that it came out so nicely. And the edges, it doesn't have too many rhinestones and too much glitter, but it gives it that really pretty effect. And then I was ready to put on the UV DTF sticker. So you can see there is quite a lot of blue, but there is the lilac. So that's why I didn't put as much blue. I put more lilac just to bring out the lilac on the sticker. The colors in that sticker are gorgeous. I just love them. So you can see how I'm just saying the blues and the purples actually match each other. And here I was just taking the sticker off. Some of the stickers that you get, they're UV DTF, but they don't have the top, so they're actually not a true UV DTF. They are cut around the actual sticker, so it's trimmed around and it has a backing, but it doesn't have the cover sheet on it. So it's more of a UV DTF without the top cover on it. I'm not sure if you understand. Some of them are like that and some of them aren't, but they really are beautiful stickers. I love the UV DTF. I really think that they just give such a beautiful finish to your trays when you use them. So here I was just running my card across to make sure that I didn't have any air bubbles. Like I have mentioned before, normally the way I do it, I don't get many air bubbles. Obviously, we all get air bubbles now and again, but most of the time I'm lucky that I might get one or two, but I don't get that many air bubbles. And I did try and get it exactly in the center, but unfortunately I was a couple of millimeters out on the left-hand side. So I was needing to trim it. The left-hand wing was slightly going up the tray on the side. So there I was just trimming that off, and these things do stick like anything. And there it is. I think it already is looking gorgeous, and you can see the feather through the bottom. It's not in your face, but it's actually below the butterfly. I think it actually looks really nice. And then it was ready for its top coat, which I had not put into the vacuum chamber because I was, as usual, not in a hurry, but I wanted to just see what it looked like with the top coat. And I was going to use my heat gun anyway to get rid of the bubbles, so I wasn't too worried about putting it into the vacuum chamber. And again, just scraping out my cup just to get the last little bits of the epoxy resin out. Most of us crafters don't like wasting, so we do scrape. I bought a beautiful spatula from Temu in my birthday haul, and I still haven't used it. I have no idea why not, but anyway, I will get to that. And then here I used my silicone tool just to make sure that it was spread evenly, and then went around it just in case there were any air bubbles. And then it was ready to have its little blast with the heat gun. Like I said before, these stickers are absolutely gorgeous, and I have a few more that I have, and I am definitely going to be using them. So here, like I said, just giving it a blast with my heat gun, getting rid of any of the air bubbles. Not that I could see any, but there are micro bubbles if you don't put it into the vacuum chamber, unless it's your deep pour. The crystal deep pour is definitely really good at self-degassing, and if you leave it for 10-15 minutes, it actually doesn't doesn't have any air bubbles. And there I just thought I'd show you what it looked like before it cured. You can see my distorted face in the actual resin. And how pretty is it looking already, and now it just needs to cure. So there are a few of the end result photos. The rim looks really pretty, and those colors are so vibrant. I was happy with how it came out. The chuck it all in method, thanks to Claire from Claire's Crafty Corner. You couldn't really see our little wimpy's feathers. They are there. If you look really closely, you can see them peeking out in between. On the right hand side, under the purple jewel at the top, you can see a little bit of our wimpy's feather, but the others got hidden. So anyway, like I said, I am really happy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, guys, if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it. If you like the video, it does help my channel grow. And as usual, until next time, have a great one.